Good afternoon, soccer fans, and welcome back for another exciting afternoon schoolboy soccer match. Today, the Foxboro Warriors hosting Stoughton. It's the JV game up first. Varsity will follow later this evening. Hello and welcome to the Ahern Middle School field. I'm Bruce Gardner bringing you another game, thanks to our friends at Foxboro Cable Access. It's Wednesday, October 29th. Season is winding down for the high school season. 5 games left. Both teams here at the JV level just looking to enjoy the day, play some good soccer, and keep getting better. Got the captains meeting in midfield right now. Jack Francischelli, Casey Blair for the Warriors, both juniors. For Rich Verrier's squad, mentioned in our last broadcast, this is Rich's first year. He's a Curry College graduate. I think his age and proximity to the boys, they can relate to him real well, and he does a lot of teaching, which is just what you want out of the JV program. While we have a minute, we'll give a shout out to our volunteers. Helping us on cameras today, Steve Warriors and Joe Cusack. On the scoreboard, Roger Prue. And the 2 men behind the scenes who make it all happen, Mike Weber and Mike Everson in the truck. We appreciate all their help. George Morrison and his staff down in the snack shack, otherwise known as the teepee. But I guess this is a soccer game, so I don't know if we can call it the teepee or not today. In any event, a fun afternoon of soccer about to get underway. The Warriors enter today's match with a record of 5 wins, 4 losses, 4 ties. And they're up against Stoughton. Stoughton's got a record of 3 wins, 7 losses, and 3 ties. Stoughton under 5th-year JV coach Bill Piasecki. Had a chance to visit with Bill before the game to learn a little bit about the Stoughton squad. He gave me some players to watch for. He said it's been a tough season with 3 wins, but it's 2 more than they had all of last year. So progress for Stoughton. Both squads ready to take the field. Couldn't ask for a better mid-October day, near 80 degrees here in Foxboro, Massachusetts. As they take the field, it looks like Stoughton's going to play with 4 in the back. Looks like maybe a central defensive mid in front of them. Some outside wing mids, a center mid, and maybe 2 up top. We'll see how that plays out. Foxboro in their usual 4 flat back. 1 central defensive mid, 1 attacking mid, 2 wings, and 2 attackers themselves. Plays underway. Coach Verrier going with the same lineup he's used the last few games. That was Ryan Prue, number 23 on the ball. Ooh, close chance there for Stoughton. Nice cross ball. Forward couldn't quite get a foot on it. Jack Francischelli up top, alongside Ronnie McClellan. Ball's back to Chris Amiable, attacking midfielder, over to Will Morrison on the right mid. I mentioned Ryan Prue runs the left mid. Brian Gardner, central defensive midfielder, right behind Chris. And a flat 4, Timmy Bain on the left. Zach Parker in the middle, along with Casey Blair, the right mid. And Billy Ozone running the right fullback position. Jake Warrior is in net. Or is it? Let me look up, and it's not. It's Breno Silva today. Sorry, Breno. Both boys have been doing a nice job for the squad. Ball out to Morrison. That's been a good play for the Warriors this season. He didn't quite get the cross he wanted, but we'll see several of those chances, I think, today. And several have led to scoring opportunities throughout the season. Ball kicked up into Chris's hand, so it's going to be a Stoughton kick. Usually early in the game, it's about feeling out the field, feeling out your opponent, starting to settle the ball down, get some possession, and start to take momentum. Even game so far. Brian Gardner intercept. Francis Kelly with the ball, looks for McClellan. Didn't quite get enough on it. Stoughton will take it back, move it back to some space. Foxboro intercepts. Containing the left back there. Francis Kelly back to Gardner, tries a chip up to Morrison. A little wide. Stoughton throw. Ryan Prue steps in to take the ball away. Anytime the ball goes up in the air like that, it's a tough play, tough to keep possession. Want to keep the ball on the floor as much as you can. Foxboro not using all the space over here on the right. They got a lot of players in the middle of the field. Gardner with a good intercept. A lot of players bunched up in the center. Casey Blair looking to get ahead on it, but Billy Ozone does it for him. And now a little possession from the Stoughton midfield. Zach Parker knocks it out of bounds. Had a chance to play it there maybe, but knocked it out, so we'll set up and let Stoughton take the throw. You can tell Zach wanted to do a little bit more with it than that. I think he's shaking his head. He knew he had a little more time. Chris Amiable, nice head. Bicycle kick back to Parker. A little confusion between Parker and Blair. Allows Stoughton to get first shot of the game, save Breno Silva. Foxboro gave up a number of goals in the last game. They've got to communicate effectively back there. That's the sort of thing that'll happen. Ronnie McClellan with the steal, puts it up to himself in space. He's got a step on the defender. They cleared in the middle. Ryan Prue follow up. Gardner steps in. Francis Kelly working hard as he always does. Little deflection back to the keeper. That's Stoughton keeper Carter Jerome with the goal kick, or the punt. Ryan Prue puts the ball up, hustles to keep it in. Knocked out by Stoughton. Good hustle play by Prue. Timmy Bain on the throw. Knocked out by Stoughton. Redo. Francis Kelly with a head. Gardner couldn't quite get there. Back to Blair. Backwards head. Not happy with that. Chased down by Ozone. Gives it back to Blair. Says try it again. Up to Amiable. To Prue. To McClellan. Steal back by McClellan to Prue. Good work here. See if we can get the ball across the field. Nope. Stoughton clogs that up. Gets by Parker. Bain sticks a foot in. Now he's looking for someone. And Ryan Prue knocks it out of bounds. So a little better passing there by Foxboro. See if we can keep stringing together a few more. Parker with the head ball to Prue. Not a lot on that one, but Amiable uses his body well. Not a lot on that one. These teams played earlier in the season. Foxboro got the most of that one, winning 2-0. So Stoughton's back here in Foxboro for revenge, and Foxboro's looking to make it 2 in a row against their Stoughton counterparts. Six minutes in here. 40-minute halves they play. No score. Casey Blair finds Gardner, looking for Morrison. Nice one touch. Will's got it, makes a nice move. Looking around, back to Gardner. Get the head up, get the ball to the corner. Prue throws it up front for McClellan. Like a lot of that work. Not a lot of touches by the boys. Just find the next man and move the ball. Timmy Bain intercepts the clearing attempt by Stoughton. Francis Skelly to space. Can't quite get it over to Morrison. Big clear by Stoughton. Casey's got a lot of time. Breno Silva says, I'll take care of that. And the left-footed punt out. Tim Bain can't get rid of it before Stoughton closes on him. Blair puts another head out. Ball's back to Parker. Ozone gets a touch. Amiable. No one home for Foxboro. Francis Skelly and chase. And we get a misplay by Stoughton. Foxboro will take that. Ozone coming up for the throw. Finds Amiable again. He's got a player in chase. McClellan says, I'll take it. Parker steps up. Good idea by Zach, but a little too strong a foot there. Easy play for the keeper. Stoughton with the good shot so far. The first good quality scoring chance, but Foxboro with a little better touch-to-touch passing right now. Gardner with a head ball. Prue settles it down. Looks for space. Amiable's there. Tim Bain with the header. Prue with the header. Nice move by the Stoughton midfielder. Up to the forward, who's looking to put it to the middle. Casey Blair, nice touch. Saves that cross. Parker gets it set up for Prue. Prue's looking downfield. There goes McClellan. Knocked out by Stoughton. Early advantage Foxboro on the possession. Ball's back now to Bain. Bain's looking in the middle. Gardner's got a guy all over him. And they steal it. Gardner's still working the play. Good job. Gets Blair. Prue. Will Morrison's waving his hand on the right side saying, get it over here, boys. A lot of the play in the foreground so far. See if we can use the whole field. Spread them out. Francis Kelly comes to the ball, uses his shoulder. Regains possession, finds the open man. Amiable gets it to McClellan. Couldn't quite touch it to Prue. Francis Skelly's got Prue out there. This has been successful for Foxboro this season, getting it out wide to Ryan Prue. Got a sliding tackle by Stoughton, but Ryan keeps possession. Gets it to McClellan. He's looking for Francis Skelly. Couldn't quite get the shot off, just over Gardner's head. Ball cleared by Stoughton. See if Bain can get it right back in there. Deflects to Ozone, to Gardner, to Morrison. Good movement. Will looks for Francis Skelly making the run. Foxboro throw. Ball's dangerously around the Stoughton top of the box. Everyone looking to get a quality chance. McClellan got a dribbler in there. No trouble for Carter Jerome. Foxborough look to win possession back again. Nice punt. Bain gets a head on it. Prue smartly brings it down. McClellan to Prue. Couldn't quite feed it through to Chris Amiable, but follows up his pass. Left foot to the middle, and there's big number 20. That's Ryan Gitchell. Coach Piasecki talked about him. Big guy does a lot in the back. Morrison now coming across the side to Prue. Amiable, good one touch to Prue, one touch. Foxborough looking to break through on one of these chances. McClellan fighting hard. Prue Couldn't quite get a crossover to his partner, Franciscelli. Franciscelli beats the keeper there, though. Chips it over his head. Think it was a left foot. Goal, Foxboro. At the 12-minute mark into the game, Jack Franciscelli finishing the play. Saw a lot of that advantage possession there by Foxboro. Here we go again with the replay. McClellan fights off his defender, puts it to Prue. One-touch chip, nicely off the back of the Stoughton defender. Franciscelli, ever the optimist, or the opportunistic player, says, I'll take that deflection off of Stoughton, put a left foot past the keeper. Keeper came out. If he's going to come out, he's got to get the ball. Jack takes advantage. 1-0 Foxboro. Prue testing the left side again. Looks like he's got a speed advantage against a couple of the boys over there. They get some help and intercept. Amiable with the head. Franciscelli, another chance. Saved by the keeper. Not cleared out of danger yet. McClellan's there. He turns and fires. Nice shot. Lower left corner. Good save by Jerome. It'll be a Foxboro corner. Good start by the Warriors. Here's the shot on goal. Prue taking the speed advantage. A little bit of help by the central back. Trying to get it out of trouble. Can't quite. McClellan gets ahead on it. Franciscelli looking for a touch. Keeper gets a piece of it. Goes just a little wide. Meanwhile, back in play, Foxboro's corner was successfully turned away by Stoughton. Ball cleared back to midfield where Ryan Prue is looking for Ronnie McClellan. Foxboro JV Warriors got off to a great start this season. They were 2-1-3, 2 wins, 1 loss, 3 ties, with 4 shutouts in their first 6 games. They then ran off a streak of 3 straight wins, moving their record to 5-1-3. Unfortunately, they've had trouble in the last 4. They've gone 0-3-1, no wins, 3 losses, 1 tie, and their goals against has gone up a little bit in those games, as you can imagine. Franciscelli, another opportunity, drills it right at the keeper, makes a nice save. So Foxboro with a great start to the season, a little bit of a lull here in the last 4. They're looking to bounce back today against Stoughton. I mentioned their overall record, 5 wins, 4 losses, 4 ties, 4 or 5 games left in the season. Doing a good job, above 500. Ooh, Morrison looking for Gardner making a run, pulls it back, looking for Franciscelli. Stoughton on a counter. Amiable gets in the way. Morrison forces a quick pass. Gardner turns it away. Ball's put through. Ozone can take care of that. Little kick ball right now. And now Foxboro gets it out wide to Franciscelli. Amiable up to McClellan. Can he find Prue? Tried. Stoughton well defended. Amiable not afraid to play it back. They're wide open. Parker over to Bain. Up to Prue. A lot of room for the Warriors in the back. Prue looking across to Franciscelli. Bounces out toward Gardner. Stoughton's got it. Morrison will try to take it away. Ozone steps up. Can't quite get it. Parker with a hard foul in the center of the park. Don't think that was intentional, knowing Zach. But that'll slow down the Stoughton attack and let Foxboro regroup. 17 minutes into the first half. Foxboro 1, Stoughton nothing. There's a kick from Stoughton. On net, but no problem for Silva. Teams head back out upfield. Gardner finds Franciscelli. Morrison back. Ozone kicks it up forward. Stoughton plays it out. Looks like if you force Stoughton on their kicks, they can take advantage of some missed kicks to the sidelines. Ozone into Morrison. Can't do a lot with that one before someone's on top of him. Parker steps up for the loose ball. Stoughton midfielder looking for a play. Morrison does a nice job defending. Stoughton takes it back. Foxboro throw. Ozone to Blair. Blair to back to Ozone. Clearing ball up the middle of the field. Comes to Amiable in space. A little too quick with the touch there. He had a lot of room. Doesn't know that, though, if doesn't get his head up or people don't tell him. Something he'll learn. Ryan Prue with the ball up for McClellan. Knocked out again by Stoughton. Beautiful day for soccer. Amiable puts it out to Prue. Looks wide for Morrison. Gets a head on it. Nice touch. Nice try. Cleared out by Jerome. Stoughton will try the left side this time. Haven't seen any real effective outside runs from them yet. That one kicked out of bounds. Foxboro will take over. Ozone to Gardner to Morrison. Played off of Stoughton. Ozone to Morrison. Ozone. Gardner looking for McClellan. Doesn't connect. Ozone with a challenge. Got a substitution in for Stoughton. Foxboro going with the original 11 still. Opportunity to talk about some of the other JV players for Foxboro. Danny Asaza, midfielder. Tyler Camo plays up front. Donald Rogers plays anywhere he can, right, Donald? Working his way back into soccer shape. Mentioned Jake Warriors shares the keeper time with Breno Silva. Got an injured Joe Costa on the bench, wearing a cast on one arm. Lucas Bradbury, another outside midfielder, provides depth on the bench right now. Ali Nasri comes in to help out at forward at times for Coach Verrier. And Jake Hogan, who's had a very good season playing in the central back for the Warriors. I think I got everybody. Oh, I missed John McAvoy. Sorry, Mac. As Ronnie McClellan takes a chance in, nice aggressive play by the Stoughton keeper. Saved a good chance for McClellan. Prue will put it right back to Franciscelli. Gardner tries a chip shot, sees McClellan. Tries a one-timer, not successful. Gardner slide tackle. Foxboro's doing a nice job pressuring Stoughton when they do get the ball. Spacing looks a little better today from Foxboro as well. There are layers. Stoughton has to get through the layers. Finds Gardner. Oh, misplay there. And we're going to get a kick for Foxboro. So Casey Blair is going to set up to take this kick. Stoughton holding at the top of their goal box. McClellan gets into the back of a defender, but no call. Prue wins the battle. Will Morrison tries to get it back to the middle. Gardner wins a battle. Gets it to McClellan. Just missed sending Franciscelli in. Gardner with a chance top of the box. Good idea. Keep the pressure on. Keeper save. Only a one-goal game, though. Foxboro dominating so far in terms of possession and passing and control and field advantage, all the areas they want to, and the scoreboard, but I think they need another goal or two. Handball Stoughton. Here's a replay of that last shot. See Ronnie McClellan pressuring the ball, comes out to Gardner. Good strike. Headed toward the far corner. Not quite enough on it. Good idea. Keep the pressure on. Will Morrison now. Nice run. Looks for a cross. Prue, good foot, and almost good for 3 points with the football field goal behind the net. Ryan Prue looking to make it 4-0 Foxboro. Unfortunately, that doesn't count. Got a call against Foxboro's back line, so Stoughton's going to get another kick. Play it in. Off of Morrison, cleared out by Blair. Franciscelli's got it. Good ball back to a wide open Will Morrison. Will drive the ball downfield, looking for McClellan. Can he get a good touch? Nice play by the Stoughton defender. Stoughton coming back now, coming down Ozone's wing. They put a nice move on Billy. Billy's got the speed to recover. Tries to turn the corner, does so effectively. Morrison. Ball's in. Franciscelli's making a run now. Looking at options. Knocks it off the Stoughton defender, and Foxboro will take the corner. 15 minutes left here in the first half. 1-0 Foxboro. Will Morrison's going to take this kick. Puts a nice ball in. Franciscelli tried to get ahead on it. Gardner's fighting for possession. Ball still in play. They give Stoughton the goal kick. Stoughton with a number of subs, 4 in. Coach Verrier sticking with his original 11. Not surprising. Last game, I mentioned they've lost the last several games and had one tie in there, but the last game they actually gave up 5 goals, which is unheard of for Coach Verrier's team. It's the most goals they've allowed all season. It did come against a tough Sharon squad, and the Sharon varsity is in first place in the Davenport division, so their JV is quite strong. Here's a chance for Franciscelli. Oh, just chips it wide. So not surprising that Coach Verrier is sticking with his original 11. They've had good possession here. They're working well together. And I'm sure he'd like to come out of this one with another W and get Foxboro to a 6-4-4 record as opposed to the 5-4-4 record. Talking to Coach Verrier before the game, I asked how he's doing, the young coach, and he said that the season's gone quickly. He's a part-time teacher at Foxboro High School, in addition to coaching the JV team. Mentioned he might be interested in some full-time work at Foxboro High if the position exists. Zach Parker now with the ball. Stoughton chasing. Tim Bain looking to turn it. Plays it off Stoughton. And we wish Coach Verrier well in his job hunting after completing his college years and his college career as a Curry Colonel in Milton, Massachusetts. Stoughton throw. Gardner's battling there in the center of the park. Morrison's fighting. Little progress here. Casey Blair, nice steal. Over to Gardner, over to Morrison. Back against the flow. Tough ball there. Back into Gardner's feet, but he collects it and looks for Francis Kelly. Will Morrison still working hard down the right side. Trying to find his mate, Francis Kelly, up there. And they earn a throw-in. Gardner with the ball. Avoids a hit. Puts it to the corner. Knocked out for another Foxboro corner. My correction, throw-in, Billy Ozone. Cleared out by the Stoughton defense. Parker takes an aggressive step up, nothing wrong with that. He's got Casey Blair behind to help, finds him. Casey with a tough ball, getting deflected, and 45's got some wheels for Stoughton. Casey's gonna have to run with him. Little shoulder push, got away with it. Nice job, Casey, up to Billy. Stoughton settles. Parker drills it into Amiable's back. Gardner steal. Stoughton with a kick in. Silva's calling, and he takes care of it. Foxborough doesn't want to let Stoughton take possession like that and get an equalizer, not after they've dominated the first half so far. I'd like to see another goal on the board for Foxborough and get a little more margin. Stoughton turns it back again, but it's going to go out of bounds. It'll be a Billy Ozone throw. Ozone surveying his options. When in doubt, put it downfield, down the line. Morrison will win the ball. Francis Kelly, Gardner, Amiable. Didn't quite connect. Prue and Chase. Nice steal. Finds Gardner, open. Puts a through ball. Nice ball up for Francis Kelly. Can he outrace him? He's got the keeper out, looking for another chip. And a goal. Francis Kelly, number 2 from Gardner. Nice play. 9.5 minutes left, and Foxborough goes up 2-0 on Jack Francis Kelly's second goal. Here's the replay. Gardner puts it through. Francis Kelly runs on. Has just enough space from the central back. Sees the keeper come out again. That's the key. Jack has his head up. Sees the keeper come out. All he really has to do is hit the frame from there, which he does. Good replay, courtesy of Mike Everson in the truck. Stoughton down 2. Just as I was saying, it'd be nice to get a little more cushion here. Appreciate Jack answering that. Thank you, Jack. So a couple of plays, aggressive plays by the keeper. I think he'll learn if he stays closer to his line and delays on that rush. It's not going to allow Jack to take that chip shot past him. Let Jack take one more touch, and then he can come out aggressively if he wants to. But as soon as Jack spots it, he's coming out in no man's land. That makes it a lot easier for Foxborough. Okay, Gardner with the ball. Finding Morrison out wide. Foxborough moving upfield. Morrison's surveying. Looks for Jack Franciscelli. Give and go. Didn't quite work with Morrison. Good idea. Casey Blair and Billy Ozone in a foot race. Ozone gets the ball. Leaves it for Blair, and Morrison's wide open again. Good spacing, Foxboro. A little too physical there. Sometimes hard to know which ones the refs like to call and not, but Foxboro will take that one. And here comes big Casey Blair, son of Pete, Foxboro High School warrior, tradition. Teeing it up. Puts a nice ball in. Franciscelli looking for the head. Down to Prue. He'll shoot this one. A second shot for Ryan Prue. This one a little closer to the bar. Good contact on both of them. Good ball by Blair. Good touch by Franciscelli. Stoughton. Here comes the ball from Casey. Gets a nice foot on it. Puts it into a very dangerous position. Franciscelli does not win the header, but contests it enough that Stoughton drops it right to Ryan Prue, who just misses over the top. Good half so far for Foxboro. 6.5 minutes remaining. Zach Parker regaining control. McClellan's going to run out there. Can't quite get it. Fullback to fullback here. Ryan just misses it. So Stoughton will put it back in play. Tim Bain, once again, freshman Tim Bain, has done a nice job. Number of freshmen, number of sophomores, and even a few juniors on this Foxboro JV squad. Stoughton throw. Nice ball down to the corner by the Stoughton player. Bain's got the advantage here. Smartly watches it go out of play. And here come Foxboro's first subs. Sean McAvoy coming in for Ronnie McClellan at the left forward. Lucas Bradbury for Will Morrison at the right mid. Danny Asaza for Chris Amiable in the center attacking mid. Silva plays it out. Bradbury gets a quick early touch right out off the bench, but plays it up a little too far. See if Stoughton can catch up to this one. Not quite. Five minutes to play, and Coach Ferrier is going to give a few of his boys a little rest with these subs that he's brought in. I'm sure he'd like to hold the shutout lead going into halftime. Gardner sticks a tackle. Ball to Blair. To Asaza. Back to Gardner. Can he win the race? Nice try. Casey Blair. A lot of the same names you hear over and over when the ball's in the middle. And those are guys that Coach Verrier's leaned on all season. They've done a nice job. Gardner attacks and steals that ball for Bradbury. Franciscelli knocks it off the Stoughton player. And here comes Ozone. Got a call against Bradbury. Not sure why. Be a Stoughton kick. Nice play, nice long ball that Stoughton forward's able to attack, but Ozone's vicious on his back. Played back, Casey Blair winning the air. Got a call on McAvoy out top, taking out a Stoughton defender. Foxboro's going to play tough here with 3.5 minutes left. Protect this advantage. Ryan Gitchell with the kick. Stoughton gets a head on it, but goes the wrong way. Finds its way to Bradbury. And Luke's got some space. The space disappeared pretty quickly. Stoughton's winning it back. Coming up the middle, Parker aggressive play to win ball. Gardner with a win. Gardner's got the ball. Smartly downfield for Franciscelli. See what he can do. Jack's there. He's looking for a hat trick. Taken down. Looks like it's outside the box. And Franciscelli's a little slow to get up. Here's the collision on replay. Stoughton player aggressively getting back to get to Franciscelli, who had the good ball put forward by Gardner, misses the ball and clears the player. Asaza with good left foot in swinger. McAvoy with the far post head just wide. Nice play, Danny Asaza, Sean McAvoy. Beautiful foliage here at the Ahern Field. Blair's looking for someone to give it to. Bradbury and Asaza working to gain possession. Ozone back in the corner for Franciscelli. Not quite the same giddy up in his step yet after that collision a couple of minutes ago. Some of the varsity players starting to arrive. You can see them in the back. Senior night tonight here at the Ahern Field. Ball's out to Asaza. He's in a good area to do something. Puts a left footer on net. Not too much trouble, but never a bad idea. Gitchell with the kick. Timmy Bain races up to meet it. Prue and Asaza combine. Prue didn't quite get the curve he wanted there. Looking for McAvoy up top. Goes over to Stoughton. Parker with the head ball. McAvoy, good hustle. Ball just makes it into the box for the Stoughton keeper. Under 2 minutes. Should get the halftime whistle any time now. Ozone chips it up to Bradbury. Can't quite get it past two Stoughton defenders. And there it is. The whistle for half. So Foxboro with 2 goals, one at the 12th minute, one at the 31st minute, both off the foot of Jack Franciscelli, a 2-0 lead here as the JV boys, Foxboro against Stoughton at the Ahern Middle School field. We'll be back for the second half. And we're back underway here at Foxboro's Ahern Middle School. JV soccer, Foxboro leading Stoughton 2-0. 30 seconds in to the second half. Looked like the ball went out off the Stoughton player, but they've got the throw as they look to climb back into this one. Coach Verrier's taking no chances here in the second half. He's got the 11 starters back on. Breno Silva still in the net. Ozone back to Blair, has a tough touch. That's a tough throw by Billy. He's going to have to recover, win the ball. He does, and he earns the call. Tough choice by Billy. Casey's going to have a perfect touch there in order to avoid the onrushing Stoughton attacker. Could have been dangerous. 2-0 lead, go forward. Especially in your own third. Both teams fighting for the possession advantage here early in the second half. Ozone does a nice job listening to his keeper, and Breno Silva will kick the ball back into play. Ball played in, no trouble. A little strong. Silva clean it up. Foxboro's going to have to take it up just a notch, continue their good play from the first half. Timmy Bain gets it out wide to Ryan Prue. Plays it, but intercepted by Stoughton. Deflects to Amiable. Can't find Francis Kelly. Prue to Amiable again. Ball through. Aggressive play by the keeper out of his box. Foxboro throw. Timmy Bain up to take it. Here's Stoughton coming back. Ozone sticks the tackle nicely. Ozone's all over this play. Up to Gardner. Can't find McClellan. Good intercept by Prue. Can't find McClellan. But Foxboro will get the throw. Played out by Stoughton. A little quiet here right now, both teams. Foxboro's got to keep up the energy. Stoughton's trying to win that all-important next goal. Aimable, nice step over. The defender couldn't quite recover, but they knock it out. Foxboro's moving down towards the Stoughton cage. Ronnie McClellan looking for Ryan Prue. Tim Bain has an opportunity to drive it a little bit. Amiable with a foot. Out to Gardner. He's got the ball under control. Can't quite find McClellan. There's McClellan. There's a chip shot. Just over the bar. A little better effort there by the Warriors. Here's that play. Gardner settles. McClellan finds the ball on his foot off the Stoughton defender. Does the right thing. Gets space. Shoot. Just over the top. Billy Ozone smartly off the Stoughton forward. Foxboro will take it again. Long throw by Ozone. McClellan gets a head on it. Francis Kelly can't quite get there. Hits McClellan in the hand. Yeah, and they saw that one. So it'll be Stoughton ball coming out. Amiable gets ahead on it. Blair tracking back, gets a touch. Parker gets bodied off the ball. Chance here for Stoughton if they effectively drive it in. Gardner's out on 26, left footer. Amiable cleans it up. I mentioned 26, he's been a good player on the field today for Stoughton. I have a feeling that's Ryan Reese. Coach Piasecki said he's a little guy up front and he's their leading scorer. But Foxboro shut him down there, and now they're back up the field towards Stoughton's end. Amy will play back, Gardner to space. Morrison moved, wasn't there. Blair gives it to Stoughton. Morrison keeps working, good work. Looking for the open man, nice pass to Amiable. Nice play, Francis Skelly up to Morrison. See if he can get around the corner. He does, can he peel it back? He does, ball comes to Francis Skelly. It's bouncing around, and the Stoughton defender gets a play back to his own keeper. Best chance of the half for Foxboro. 8 minutes in. Here's that replay. Will Morrison effectively turning the corner. Puts his shoulder down, turns, and instead of kicking it out of bounds, he does play it back nicely off of two defenders to right to Francis Skelly's foot, across the goal mouth. Bounces into the Stoughton defender and off of him to the keeper. Sometimes the ball takes a lucky bounce, and it did for Stoughton. Stoughton coming back upfield. Casey Blair with the flying attack. Parker steps up, finds Gardner, looking for McClellan, doesn't work. McClellan and Chase. Parker puts it back up. Gardner looking for Prue. Good ball. Prue's got it under control. Good job, Ryan. McClellan back to Chris. 4 or 5 touches. See if Foxboro can do something with it. Ryan looking for Francis Skelly. Stoughton clears. A little better possession there for the Warriors. Now Bain over to Parker. Can't find Gardner in the middle. Stoughton trying to get around the corner themselves. Parker does a good, is that Parker? Yes, it is. Does a good job knocking the ball out of bounds. Zach's a little bit like a brick wall. If you can get by him, you can get some space, but it's the getting by him that can be difficult. A couple of subs on for Stoughton. Nine guys back near the box for Foxboro. Not a lot of room for Stoughton at the moment. Ronnie McClellan Chase, Brian Gardner, McClellan, and take off Francis Skelly. There's a good ball. Jackson a foot race. Can't quite get past the big guy, Gitchell. Stoughton puts it forward. Blair gets ahead in there. Gardner's got a ball. He's looking outside for Prue. Prue's changing the direction to Francis Skelly. Morrison will take that. Nice touch in the corner. Francis Skelly uses his body but can't quite possess the ball inbounds. Three more subs coming in for Stoughton. So Foxboro started a little slowly this half, probably with that 2-goal advantage in the back of their mind, but I think they've evened the play again at this point. They're back into the game. Stoughton looking to get back into the game on the scoreboard. Gardner steps in front of that, makes a nice touch. Can't quite connect with McClellan, bounces up to Prue. Ball's deflected. Chris Amiable in a good spot for the clearing pass, but couldn't quite control the touch. Fights back. And puts a little bit too much elbow into the defender. One thing about the JV guys, you really like their effort and their hustle. They may not always make the best technical play, but they don't give up. A lot of fighting, these guys. I know they haven't had a lot of fun the last few games, but so far they're playing better again in this one and keep that record above 500. Ryan Prue containing his man. He's forced to play it back where McClellan can be in chase. Prue's still too tough to turn on and takes the ball away and finds Morrison up the other side. Good play by the defender to step in and read that. Will won't give up. He'll keep fighting. He sees Franciscelli, who wants his third goal of the match. Tough call there for Stoughton. Franciscelli worked hard and fell down, and they called it against the Stoughton defender. I can't say I saw him do a whole lot that was illegal, but Casey Blair will take this kick in a dangerous spot. Drives it far. Franciscelli can't quite get ahead. Prue gets a little touch. Amiable. A lot of space for Casey Blair. Sees an open Timmy Vane. Gets his head up. Sees a Prue. Back to Timmy. Up to Ronnie. Chris fights through an attack. Jack puts it back out to Ryan. Nice work here by the defenders. Gardner's making a run up the middle. Ryan finds him. Trying to find space to do something with it. Ball finds its way back to Amiable. Gets a ball into Morrison. Morrison with a good chance here. Tough angle. Turned away by the Stoughton defender. Ozone will attack pressure. He's got Casey Blair open back there, who finds Gardner. Settles. Looks around. There's Morrison. To Franciscelli. Really good work here this last minute by Foxboro. Jack pulls it back just a little strong. Nobody there. Ryan Prue has to give chase. Really like that work, though, by Foxboro. Number of good connecting passes, head up, finding each other. Bain up to McClellan, fights off the attack. Bain will get another throw. Well, they saw it the other way. It's going for the black team. Gardner to McClellan to Franciscelli to Prue. Puts a through ball up for McClellan. Nice head. Putting pressure on the center back for Stoughton. He's done a nice job most of this game, though, Gitchell. He calmly turned that and knocked it out of bounds. Lets his guys regroup. Franciscelli back to Gardner. Doesn't quite connect. Good play, Stoughton defender. Off of Ryan. Ball's been in Stoughton's half a lot more, though, here the last 5-7 minutes. That's right where Foxboro wants to keep it. Will Morrison making a run toward the middle. Turns his back to the play. Gardner with a long shot. What's he got? Just a touch high. Barriers clapping on that one. The coach likes the effort. Not only from Brian, but I think all the boys looking for each other, working hard now. Ball's in play. Sees the space. Makes nice contact. Keeper was a little worried for a moment and then watched it sail over the top. Foxboro sticking with the starting 11 still here. They're working well together. Amable's got all the defenders. He sees them. Gives Ozone a ball. He's got some space. Finds Blair. Good ball. Casey gets his head up. Back to Amable. Just out of his reach. Ball played through here. Now comes Breno Silva to the top of his box. Gives a flip out towards Amiable. Tough ball. Bounces over the Stoughton defender, and Ryan Prue has space. Can't quite feed it through to Franciscelli. Gardner's got it. Puts a ball up towards Morrison, just a touch hard. Stoughton takes it down, but it ends up on Ozone's foot. Ozone with the slide tackle, takes a kick to the kneecap. About 23 minutes left in this one. Lights are coming on here at the Ahern Field. Getting ready for varsity soccer tonight. Good fight by Morrison. Earns Ozone another throw. No one moving for him. Stoughton with a sub. Ball's back in play. Brian Gardner has hands on the back, arms on the back of the defender. So they'll fall back and retreat. Foxboro will. Good layers here, good hustle. Morrison wins the ball. Francis Skelly can't quite handle that touch. A little better on this one. Finds Parker. Tough ball for Amiable. Keep it on the ground if we can. Over to Ryan Prue. Settles it. Finds Amiable. Can't get a touch on. Missed kick by Stoughton. And now Ronnie McClellan. Take the ball to the corner with a little bit of surprising speed out of Ronnie. Cut back. Too many defenders. Ball out to Prue. A little weak on that one. Not a bad idea. Ryan's had a number of good opportunities this game. Blair back to collect the ball. Finds Gardner. One touch for Morrison. Ozone and Amiable both step in to win the ball. Gets it to McClellan. Prue's got another chance here. Once again, Carter Jerome being aggressive off his line wins that ball before Ryan Prue can get to it. Prue and McClellan looking for each other. McClellan goes down. It's going to be a kick for Foxboro in a dangerous spot. Let's see who's going to take this one. It's going to be Tim Bain out there to the keeper's right. Will Morrison waiting at the far post. Timmy doesn't get a lot on it. Easy clear for Stoughton. Parker's back there, got a lot of time. See who we can find. Sees Morrison. Nice touch. Kept it in. Tough play. So 2 juniors for Foxboro in the back line. Casey and Zach. And as I mentioned, Jake Hogan's the 3rd member of that group who's patrolled a lot back there and done a good job. Amiable with a couple swings and misses. It's off of Francis Kelly. Came to the foot of McClellan. Nice shot. Keeper challenged that one well. I think he helped force the ball high. All Foxboro now in the last 10 or 12 minutes. Mentioned coming into this one, Stoughton is 3-7-3. Foxboro 5-4-4. So far, it's playing out that way on the field. Goal kick taken down by Morrison. Looks around, sees the space for Ozone, leads him to a good spot. Ozone can't quite make the connection there before the ball's taken away. Casey Blair ruling the error. Prue and McClellan with a nice give and go. Good tackle by 22 of Stoughton. It's a nice stick and nice and calm with the ball. Finds a teammate, gets it back. Prue closes in, can't quite keep it in bounds. Nice foot skills from 22 of Stoughton. Sean McAvoy coming on now for Jack Franciscelli. McClellan with possession, threading the needle. Working hard, finding McAvoy. Can't get a lot on it. Nice work though, Ronnie. Not bad for a hockey guy. I'm just kidding. Hockey and soccer guy. Tim Bain with the strong foot. McAvoy head. Follows it up. Only two of them up there. They're going to have to work together. Can't quite do it. Here's the big man from the back line saying it's time for me to make a run. Gives it away to Morrison. Good try by McAvoy. Can't quite keep it in. Another Stoughton substitution. Just over 16 minutes to play. Foxboro still leads. Same score as at halftime, 2-0. Stoughton trying to get the ball upfield now. Can't get through the Foxboro layers. Ryan Prue makes a nice run. Sean McAvoy just a step offside. Stoughton ball coming out. Gardner wins the head ball down to McClellan. McAvoy's got a little space. Trying to get it back over to his partner, McClellan. Unsuccessful. Tim Bain puts a head on it. Zone steps in. Free ball for McClellan if he can win the foot race. Dave, I'm good. How are you? I don't know if you can read my chicken scratch.
Do it by yourself here, huh? Hey, man. See ya.
Thanks for coming. You're gonna have to look. I just kind of made a lot of scratch outs.
Okay.
Ryan Prue with the ball up into the corner.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you have this script because I didn't have this. Yeah.
The only thing I haven't done, I don't know if you have the time, is find out which parents are going to be here. Those are my notes for the play-by-play.
Oh, yeah, that would help, huh?
But I don't know which. I know the Mellows. He said both of them are going to be here.
Let me see.
Ball gets back to the back line of Foxboro. Parker plays it up. Can't do a lot. Gardner collects it. Finds Prue. The main thing I think is spinnies, folks. Now Parker's running back to the ball. Going to play it back for his keeper. Silva gets rid of it.
Yep.
Tim Bain doing a nice job in the corner. Comes back out with the ball for Foxboro. McClellan wide open, smartly to Amiable. Loses possession there, but Bain makes an aggressive play and gets a call. Tim Bain puts it back in play. Gardner can't collect it. Air Blair in battle and throws down a guy. Not sure we needed that, but gives Stoughton a chance to make this a game, and here comes the big center back to take the kick. I think Casey was a little frustrated on that one. Silva will have to be ready for this. With all the Foxboro advantage, you'd hate to see it become a one-goal game. Ball bounced around quite a lot, but Silva found it just in time. Foxboro avoids what could have been a tough play there. Now going back the other way with McAvoy. So Gitchell gets nice contact, takes a tough hop right in front of the keeper, bounces up, hits him in the face. 2 touches by Breno Silva before collecting it just before a 32 of Stoughton can knock it into the net. Dangerously close. I think Foxboro should put one more in here so they don't have to worry about plays like that. Danny Saza on the field now for Chris Amiable. Saza, number 10, running in the mid next to Gardner. They've combined for some nice play in several games. Stoughton's going to get a kick here. Just over 10 minutes left in this one. Zach Parker wins it out of the air. Gardner has a smart touch to Asaza, and he's got some space. Can't quite get it past the big guy in the back. Casey puts a nice ball out to Billy. Billy puts it to the corner nicely for McAvoy. Puts a ball quickly across. Asaza's there. Hits the post. Left footer hit the post. Knocked out to Blair. Settles it. Going back to McAvoy. Gardner takes that one away. Steps over the attempted tackle to McAvoy. Back to Asaza again. He'll try the other side. Danny Asaza getting some offensive attempts. Prue out of the air to Asaza. They can't quite collect it. Tim Bain steps up nicely. And Stoughton with 4 more subs. Here's the shot off the post. McAvoy, nice ball. Into good space. Stoughton defender gets a hit on it, but right to Asaza, who gets nice, solid foot on it. 4 inches to the left, and it's in the back. Stoughton making a run on Foxboro's left side now. Zach Parker knocks it out, but that's going to give Stoughton a corner. Stoughton's taking its time as the clock continues to tick down. There's the play. Foxboro fights it off its line effectively. I'm not sure if that was Asaza or who it was on number 20, the big guy. But they get it out to midfield safely, where Stoughton will take over again. Now it's Asaza. Looking for space, puts the ball ahead. A little miscommunication in the back there, but the keeper clears it out of trouble. I think the defender heard the keeper call, but then the keeper backed off. The defender wasn't sure what to do, but it didn't amount to anything. Dave, just hang on to that paper for me if you would, so I can use my notes on the back. Yeah. It's only me doing it. I need something to fill the ear.
Who's mowing tonight?
7 minutes to play here at the Ahern Field. It's been a good, clean JV game. Foxboro holding on to the 2-0 lead. Morrison gets the ball from Ozone. Plays it back. Amiable stepping through. Just misses a little wide. Got Franciscelli and Amiable in the forward positions now. Prue and Morrison still on the outside. Asaza and Gardner still in the middle. Same four in the back. Brian wins the head ball. Stoughton collects. Ozone, Franciscelli, not quite enough to get it to Will. Good idea. Stoughton not giving up. A little aggressive by Casey again. Just has to keep that under control. Although taking the foul there won't hurt him too much. Gitchell puts it back in play, but Foxboro clears. Stoughton trying something up their right side. Tim Bain in battle. Saza comes away with it. Puts the ball up for Franciscelli. Trying to get by. Thinking about a third goal potentially. In a battle with the center back. Gets the ball through. And it's a goal. It's a hat trick for Jack Franciscelli. 3-0 Foxboro. Just under 5 minutes to play. Wholesale changes now for Foxboro. Lucas Bradbury back in for Morrison on the right mid. Get it one more time. I think it was Asaza who played that ball up to Jack. He's in a foot race. Center back, shoulder to shoulder, and at the very end, Franciscelli gets enough of a lead to get the shot off and beat the keeper. Congratulations to Jack. 3 goals. So Bradbury's in for Morrison. Nasri's in for Amiable. Rogers, Donnie Rogers, in for Ryan Prue. Gardner takes it down, looking for Rogers. Plays it back to Bain. That was the third goal we were looking for. That'll give Foxboro the breathing room and a very good chance at the win now. Donnie Rogers. Donald, I should say. Ali Nasri with a steal here. Francis Kelly back to Asaza. Looking around, trying to get a left footer off. Too much traffic. Jake Hogan in the game. Jake battles. Jake's in for Parker. Rogers finds Gardner. Over to Bradbury. Over to Asaza. Ozone. Good work here. Asaza. Can't quite keep the possession. Ozone and Bradbury making it tough on this side. Bradbury giving a ball to Francis Kelly. Got Nasri if he could find him. Not quite. Pops out to Gardner. Ball's up to Nasri. Bradbury, nice touch. Casey Blair, nice play. And just knocks it out of bounds. Gardner and Bradbury fighting for the ball. Francis Kelly comes away with it. He's got Nasri in partnership with him. Plays the ball to space. To the corner. Tries a left foot cutback. Rogers has the ball. Comes out to Bain for a throw. And Tyler Camo coming in for Jack Francis Kelly. Under 2 to play. Foxboro will go to 6 wins. 4 losses, 4 ties. As Bradbury just misses an opportunity there. This is a game we said at the beginning they should win. They needed to win. Get back on the right track. Sets them up well now headed into the final third or so of the season. Saw Coach Verrier stick with a lot of his starting 11 this game as Hogan plays the ball back. Jake Worry is now in net, clears the ball. Took care of that dangerous situation. But Coach Verrier stuck with his starting 11 for a lot of that game. I think had Foxborough popped in a couple more, we probably would have seen a little bit more substituting, but it was important for Foxborough to get back on the winning track and get to that 6-win mark. So good for the JV boys of Foxborough. Jake Hogan battling hard. Ball's cleared up. Billy Ozone's on it. Clears it safely outside. Smart play. Bradbury has a chance. Left heels it out of bounds. A little unlucky for Luke. He's done a good job when he's been in there for Coach Verrier. And that's the whistle. So as I said, the Warriors come away with a good win. They had possession the majority of the game. They had a lot of nice passing and possession. And they had Jack Francis Kelly up top, who took care of all 3 of the Warrior goals today, improving their record to 6-4-4. Again, our thanks to Foxborough Cable, Mike Weber, Mike Everson, to our camera guys, Steve Warriors, Roger Prue, helping us out, Joe Cusack, George Morrison and his team in the concessions. Thank you for watching Foxborough High School Soccer.